Alrighty, so with such a banger of a card, I'm just going to break down the top 3 fights, like I said earlier, starting with the women's strawweight bout between, the rematch between Joanna Jedrzejczyk and Weili Zhang. So as I usually do, we go into their last 3 fights, starting with Weili Zhang. Her last fight was against Rose Namajunas, which she lost by split decision in November of 2021, and that was a rematch for the strawweight title. Before that was against Rose Namajunas the first time, which she lost also by head kick in round 1 in April 2021, and that's when she lost the title. And then before that, she fought Joanna Jedrzejczyk the first time, and she won that fight by split decision in March 2020, and I believe that fight got Fight of the Year. As for Joanna Jedrzejczyk, her last fight was against Weili. She lost that by split decision, as I just said, and that was in March 2020. Before that, she fought Michelle Waterson, which she won by unanimous decision, and that was in October 2019. And before that, she fought Valentina Shevchenko for the flyweight title. She moved up to flyweight for that, and she lost by unanimous decision in December 2018. But so in that first fight, which was a 5-round title fight, we saw the then champion Weili defend the title and defeat Joanna in a battle for the ages and for the history books, and what I think was the greatest women's strawweight fight of all time, and arguably the greatest women's fight in general, period. It was a very close fight statistically. Weili more than likely won based on the damage that she inflicted on Joanna, because at the end of that fight, Joanna walked out the cage looking like Megamind's long-lost sister.
Damn!
But when comparing the stats, they were very close, and Joanna even outlanded Weili in total strikes in round 2 and 5, whereas the other 3 rounds, they were exactly even in strikes. But one of the main things to look at, again, is, that this is now going to be a 3-round fight and not a 5-round fight, which is kind of stupid, because they definitely could have made this a 5-round fight like they made, Nick Diaz versus Robbie Lawler the other month, when that was a co-main event. And I don't even think it was a co-main event. I think it was, the third fight, one of the last 3 fights on the main card. But yeah, I think they could have did that. They could have did the same thing that they did there with this fight, and they should have. But alright, let's get into the numbers. So coming into the fight, Joanna will have a 2-inch height advantage, with her being 5'6" and Weili being 5'4". Joanna will also have a 2-inch reach advantage. Weili is a stance switch fighter, and Joanna fights in orthodox. When it comes to strikes, which is both fighters' specialty, Joanna lands 6.3 significant strikes per minute with an accuracy of 48%, while Weili lands just under 5.5 significant strikes per minute with an accuracy of 45%. Joanna absorbs little over 3 significant strikes per minute with a 64% defense, and Weili takes little over 4 significant strikes per minute with a defense of 52%. When it comes to grappling, Weili averages little under 2 takedowns per 15 minutes with a 31% accuracy, while Joanna doesn't even average half a takedown, so her accuracy of 62% doesn't really say much. But as for takedowns defended, Joanna has an 81% takedown defense, and Weili has a 60% takedown defense. And neither of them averages any submissions, well, damn near any submissions per fight. But going into how I think this will play out, as we saw in the last 3 fights of each of them, Weili has been the more active of the two. Joanna has not fought since that first fight back in 2020. Usually I would say a lot of time away from the cage, could be someone's downfall coming back from a long layoff. But after taking the damage that she did in that first fight, the 2 years off could kind of be a blessing in disguise. But also because her last fight was that barn burner and she took as much damage as she did, coming into this fight, she could be a lot more cautious, of getting into a straight up brawl with Weili, which again could honestly and probably would be the best thing for her. But yeah, if she can make Weili chase her around the cage while popping the jab and, keeping Weili on the outside all fight, then it could be in her favor. Along with her jab, Joanna has a really, really nice and quick leg kick, which she definitely should utilize to slow Weili down, because Weili likes to bounce. She likes to bounce in her step. So leg kicks could definitely slow her down and take a lot away from her planting power, especially when she throws those hook power shots that she loves so much. And being the longer fighter, Joanna should also use her teep kicks, which she has very nice teep kicks, and just front kicks in general, whether it be to the body or the face. But yeah, that would be perfect to keep Weili at distance. As for Weili, though, it's pretty much the opposite. Weili is at her best when she closes the distance and blitzes, and has the octagon control and pressure going. And when she closes the distance, and lands those power shots. We saw in her last fight with Rose, that her downfall was not giving Rose the distance and space, needed to throw that head kick that she didn't see coming like the first fight. Although it was very quick and early in the fight of the stoppage, it didn't take long for the feel-out process to come to a straight-up halt, and she did much better in the second fight, which she did ultimately lose, but she definitely did a lot better. But yeah, Weili's best strike is the overhand power right, the right hook also, which she landed all fight against Joanna the first time they met, and she did that all just getting in the inside. Perfect timing and accuracy, and I'm pretty sure the plan is to replicate that again this fight, but it'll all come down to how Joanna comes into this fight. If she obliges into that kind of fight, then that's what's going to happen. But I do think this is going to be a stand-up affair like the last fight, but I don't think it's going to be as intense, unfortunately. It will 100% for sure not be a snooze fest like Esparza versus Rose the other month. Let's hope. But I don't believe that it'll be a fight like that. But I also don't believe it'll be a fight of the year contender or a fight of the year like the first one was. With this being a 3-round fight, though, the output of each fighter could very well be very high. But I just feel like the level of respect that they have for each other is definitely going to be there after that first fight, and I don't think it'll turn into a brawl like how the first one did. And although both fighters do have submission victories on their record, more so Weili with 7 and Joanna just having 1, I literally doubt either of them will be going for any takedowns this fight, and they're just going to be kickboxing pretty much. Maybe some clinch fighting here and there, but I think it's just going to be a nice old kickboxing match. But honestly, if there is any takedowns happening, I could see it coming from Weili. But I've said shit like that before, and so don't be surprised if Joanna gets a takedown. But as for my prediction, though, I'm going with Joanna by decision. I know. I think it's going to be a very competitive fight, no matter what, and both fighters is going to have their moments. But just like the last fight, I think this goes to decision in a very close back-and-forth fight. But I just see Joanna outstriking Weili and staying out of the way of big shots, unlike last time, and just do enough to, win the judges' scorecards. Again, 2 years off, so who knows what kind of mentality she's coming back with. But seeing her recent interviews, she seems good to go. But she's a smart fighter. I know she knows how she has to fight, and it all comes down to that. But after Rose versus Esparza the other month, both of these two want to put on a great show, to get the next title shot against Esparza. So, and Esparza is the one that Joanna defeated when Joanna first got the title. But, regardless, let's just hope for a great fight. But yeah, I'm going with Joanna by decision on this one.